Tonight on CTV News at 6, will it work? The reality facing Canada's proposed social media ban for kids.
I don't know whether it's good or bad.
The effectiveness of cutting off under 16s from several social media platforms.
I feel like it's a little excessive. I think social media is like an outlet and a way to connect for teenagers.
ACERT investigating Edmonton police for a letter written to prosecutors in a child death case.
It was our belief that the letter and subsequent press conference in which they attempted to intimidate and extort the Crown Prosecution Service was highly improper.
And the FIFA World Cup is underway. The local impact of soccer's biggest spectacle.
All the times coincide with the times we're open and the times everybody's awake in this country is phenomenal.
Another day with temperatures in the teens for a daytime high tomorrow, but there is some sunshine and 20-something temperatures on the way for the weekend.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. Local kids and parents are torn on the federal government's proposed social media ban for anyone under the age of 16. The feds say it will protect children. One social media expert argues it won't be effective. Miriam Valdez-Carletti has more.
Scrolling through social media could become a thing of the past for Canadians under the age of 16.
I feel like it's a little excessive. I think social media is like an outlet and a way to connect for teenagers.
That's how a lot of people express themselves.
Earlier this week, the federal government introduced Bill C-34. It would prevent kids under 16 from accessing social media. It also includes measures to lower the risk of chatbots sending harmful content.
We should not ban social media because some social media are good for others, like to communicate with parents and stuff or to have friends.
One junior high school grad believes the age limit goes too far.
As a 14-year-old, I don't really need social media. It's not a need, it's a want. So I feel like it should be around 13, 12, even 14.
The proposed ban doesn't include a specific way for apps to verify age, leaving questions for parents.
I don't know whether it's good or bad, but something if you're forcing to the kids, they will find their own way, you know.
One marketing professor at the University of Alberta says the ban likely won't work.
Just saying that you're not allowed to use it anymore isn't going to be effective because there's no way to actually enforce it.
Castello says teens can lie about their age or use a sibling's or parents' account to scroll instead. He says parents should reduce a child's screen time by creating incentives.
Maybe increasing allowance if you're getting off social media or making certain rewards contingent on getting off or reducing your time spent on social media, maybe concert tickets.
Since 2024, a province-wide phone ban in classrooms has helped keep kids off social media.
I think it kind of distracting them from their education also, and them seeing things that they're not supposed to see as kids, you know.
The province says it will have more to say once it's completed its review of the proposed bill. It feels government policies should empower parents to have tools to protect their children. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Police and school officials in Camrose are investigating social media posts they describe as deeply concerning and harmful. The posts were directed at female students. The posts involve students from Camrose Composite High School. Police and the Battle River School Division say due to privacy laws, they're unable to share details publicly. They say last week they were alerted to the historical group chat involving several students. They say screenshots of the posts were shared widely. Students and parents have been rallying to send a message. These posts are unacceptable. They also believe the students behind them should face consequences.
It makes me feel uncomfortable coming here. It makes me feel like, what if this happens again?
Why are our girls feeling unsafe at school? Obvious reasons, but we should be curbing it, stomping on it, squashing it.
They say they don't believe anyone is at risk of physical violence. Both police and the school division say the matter is being taken seriously and steps have been taken behind the scenes, including interventions and supports for all affected parties. Alberta's police watchdog is now investigating the actions of the Edmonton Police Service. It stems from a letter sent by the chief to the Crown Prosecutor's office in what some allege was an attempt to interfere in the prosecution of a woman accused of killing an 8-year-old girl. Amanda Anderson reports.
I've been practicing criminal law for over 35 years. I don't remember a case like this ever.
The Criminal Trial Lawyers Association filed a complaint about the Edmonton Police Service that's now under investigation by the Alberta Serious Incident Response Team.
The CTLA is very pleased to see that the Government of Alberta and ACERT are taking seriously our complaint about the conduct of Megan Hankowich and Chief Dreichel regarding the Ashley Rattlesnake prosecution.
It stems from this letter Edmonton's top cop sent to the Alberta Crown Prosecution Service in September.
It was our belief that the letter and subsequent press conference in which they attempted to intimidate and extort the Crown Prosecution Service was highly improper, in breach of the Code of Conduct and potentially in breach of several sections of the Criminal Code.
EPS heard a plea deal was in the works for Ashley Rattlesnake, who they charged with first-degree murder in the death of 8-year-old Nina Nepope-Dumais. They said if the deal went ahead, significant information about the case would be released to let the public decide if justice had been served. A move Paul Morrow says backfired.
They had heard a rumor that there was going to be a plea agreement for a guilty plea to manslaughter and a sentence of 8 years. The sentence, as it turned out, would have been higher, but for the actions that they took. Justice Fraser reduced the sentence by a year because of the improper interference or attempted interference by the Edmonton Police Service.
During sentencing, the justice said the actions of police crossed the line of interfering with justice. If ACERT recommends charges after the investigation is complete, it will be up to the Crown Prosecution Service to decide how to proceed. Morrow expects if that happens, and because the CPS is essentially the victim in the matter, a Crown from outside of Alberta would be brought in. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Alert's Internet Child Exploitation Unit is looking for help identifying a child sexual assault victim. ICE released this photo of a T-shirt worn by the victim in hopes someone will recognize it. Police believe she was between 6 and 8 years old when the offenses occurred. They say it happened sometime between November 2017 and February 2019 in the Edmonton area. Another victim has been identified. In October last year, ICE charged Simon Lacourciere with multiple sexual exploitation offenses. He is still in custody. And Edmonton police are looking for a driver involved in a hit and run from April. Police say these photos show the SUV and driver they suspect was involved. The collision occurred April 26th at 11:30 at night near White Ave and 100th Street. Police say a 28-year-old man was hit. He was taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The UCP government has filed its appeal against a judge's decision to throw out Stay Free Alberta's separatist petition. Last month, the court found the province neglected to fulfill its duty to consult First Nations. The province plans to argue the judge made 14 errors in her decision. He will also argue the ruling failed to give weight to the democratic purpose of the petition process. Premier Darnell Smith has said her government is prepared to challenge this ruling all the way to the Supreme Court if necessary. Smith has called the ruling anti-democratic. The city is hearing from Edmontonians about its plans for new rapid transit bus routes. Public information sessions were held earlier this week. The city is mulling options in the university area and on White Avenue between 109th Street and 83rd Street. One option would remove street parking and reduce driving lanes to one in each direction. City staff say they want more input before a decision is made.
Provide that feedback, and what we're looking for is what would you like the city to consider as we go through this planning exercise.
Giving dedicated laneways to buses means that they're not competing with cars for the road space, and they can move more people more efficiently.
The project is still in the concept phase. The White Ave lanes would be part of a bigger rapid transit line connecting West Edmonton Mall to Bonnie Doon. The other priority line would connect Castle Downs to Century Park. A new food pop-up on White Ave is hoping to bring more people and business to the area. Each week, 5 restaurants will set up shop at Station Park. Evan Kenny joins us now live. Evan, this is trying to fill the whole of a restaurant that used to be in this building.
That's right, Jeff. Station Park used to be home to Epic Market, which was a food court-style restaurant. Now, that closed in January, citing foot traffic and parking issues. The owners of Station Park have now been brainstorming ever since with what to do with this space. Now, they believe this solution will bring more people to the area and support surrounding businesses. Last Call Vintage and Thrift is getting ready for more foot traffic around Station Park.
we're still seeing it grow and grow, and I think more and more people are going to come in.
People are coming down here this weekend for a food pop-up where 5 local restaurants are setting up shop until Sunday. Last Call believes by bringing people to the space for food, more will stay to shop.
I think people, when they come and experience it, they're going to want to stay, and just creating traffic down here and keeping this corner alive.
For lease and sale signs can be seen in many stores along White Avenue. The Old Strathcona Business Association says pop-ups like this help bring life back to the area.
It also gives those brands and those businesses an opportunity to meet a new segment that is here already by showing up and to try out new concepts by collaborating, and that can often open up new avenues of business for people, so that's fabulous.
It's also an avenue for restaurants to find new regulars.
I think it would be like a good opportunity for customers to kind of be able to shop at, one stop and go to multiple shops. It's really exciting for us to be able to share it in a different space.
All the vendors here hope to create an atmosphere that will bring people back.
We want the vibe to be high. We want you to come here and enjoy your time and just meet good people and, have a fun day on White Ave.
The food pop-up runs every Thursday through Sunday from 3 until 11. The restaurants will rotate inside every 3 weeks. Also in 3 weeks, there will be a market outside. It's another way these businesses are hoping to create more traffic. Jeff?
All right, Evan, thank you. Evan Kenny live tonight. Edmonton is once again expanding access to free drinking water. The city celebrated the launch of this year's water station program this morning. Fountains throughout the city provide free drinking water 24/7 during warm summer months. The water station program was introduced as a pilot 5 years ago and continues to grow each year. The city says it's also an important part of Edmonton's extreme weather response.
We know that extreme temperatures can be also particularly dangerous for children, for the elderly, for people with disabilities, and people experiencing homelessness. And so the city has launched these water fountains to help people and their pets survive some of these extreme days.
New stations have been added to Kinsman Park, White Avenue, and Millwoods Rec Centre. TSN is reporting Oilers defenseman and assistant captain Darnell Nurse has asked for a trade. The 31-year-old former first-round draft pick had 24 points last season. TSN says Nurse and his representatives submitted a list of teams he'd be willing to be traded to a week ago. Nurse would be waiving a no-movement clause on a contract averaging $9.25 million a year. Nurse has 4 seasons left on his current deal. For the next few weeks, local soccer fans will be sporting their country's colors and hitting up watch parties. The FIFA World Cup is expected to be a big assist for local business owners hoping to cash in on the month-long tournament. Nariman Issa reports.
It's all about Canadiana at the Cabin Pub and Party. However, for the first game of the FIFA World Cup, it's all about the red, white, and green.
Let's go. México está jugando bien, nada más que sí deben de.
Mexican fans packed the bar to cheer on their team as they took on South Africa. This South African fan may have been outnumbered, but not out of spirit.
There's always big pride in where I'm from. I'll always carry that with me wherever I go.
The downtown bar will be showing World Cup matches every day. The general manager says the tournament is big business, especially after a short Oilers postseason.
Having the World Cup here, especially since the World Cup is in North America, so all the times coincide with the times we're open and the times everybody's awake in this country is phenomenal.
So your total is 50-40, and that's on cash or card.
At Eurosport in North Edmonton, there's team apparel for many countries, especially great for fans who cheer for more than one.
Of course, I'm a proud Canadian. We're going for Team Canada all the way. For heritage sake, I am going for my home country, Netherlands. We're going for England too.
This longtime employee says Canada fans are cleaning them out.
Like, we're out of the black jersey, which is the sought-out Canada jersey this year. But Canada's sales, whether it's a scarf or a hat or just want that T-shirt or that jersey, it's the greatest it's ever been for Canada sales in soccer.
A big boost for businesses hoping FIFA Fever brings in a lot of cold, hard cash. Nariman Issa, CTV News, Edmonton.
If you're looking for a watch party to support your favorite team, CTV has you covered. Head to ctvnewsedmonton.ca for a list of watch parties in the city. If there's a watch party you don't see on our website, that's also where you can let us know. Okay, Josh, it's one of those days that looked like it might rain all day long.
Then it didn't until now, just north of the city. It looks like over eastern parts of the Edmonton region. We've got some showers sliding in from the north. We'll show you that on the radar map in a second. It was certainly a cool and cloudy day. 9 degrees this morning, right around average, but 16 for a daytime high. We thought 17 or 18, so we kind of underestimated today. 5 degrees cooler than average. I think we'll be in the same ballpark tomorrow. I've got 17 in the forecast for tomorrow. Look at it. Temperatures have dropped since earlier this afternoon when we hit 16. We're at 11, right? 11 north, east, and west of the city, 12 downtown. Wind out of the north at about 15, gusting to 30 kilometers per hour. A little gusty as well at the airports northwest and south of the city. All of those gusts coming in on the edge of those showers just off to the north of us. Most of the shower and thunderstorm activity today, as expected, was in western and southern sections of the province. But there's been this band of rain just north of Edmonton pretty much all afternoon. It hasn't really moved all that much, but you can see in the last hour it has kind of taken a bit of a dive to the south. So it looks like Sherwood Park's getting some rain, and we'll probably see at least some of those showers in parts of the city here early this evening. I think once we get to 9, 10 o'clock tonight, just cloudy skies once again. 7 and cloudy tomorrow morning, and then breezy, and again about 17 for a high tomorrow afternoon with some sun breaking through the clouds late in the day. A lot more sun in the forecast for the weekend, and temperatures back into the 20s. We'll talk about all that in a couple minutes.
Okay, thank you, Josh. Still ahead, once upon a time in Edmonton.
The Oilers have won the Stanley Cup.
From Stanley Cups to steer wrestling and legendary singers of all genres, we're taking a look back at the history of the Coliseum.
Something you will remember for the rest of your life.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Right now, the city of Edmonton is in the process of deconstructing the Coliseum. It opened 52 years ago, instantly becoming the center for sports, concerts, and entertainment. Tonight, Once Upon a Time in Edmonton looks back at the building's history. Here's Matt Woodman with part 1.
Around the league was saying, there's the showplace of the league now.
Construction began on Northland's Coliseum in 1972. It was completed in the fall of '74 and opened on November 10th, although some of the arena's new seats arrived late.
So we handed people their seats as they came in and said, take a seat.
Fans filled the Coliseum to watch the building's first event, a World Hockey Association game between the Edmonton Oilers and Cleveland Crusaders.
The Oilers have won the Stanley Cup.
The Oilers eventually joined the NHL, winning 5 Stanley Cups. And the hearts of Edmontonians.
Here he comes.
The Canadian Finals Rodeo also rounded up fans for more than 40 years.
Look at this cowboy.
The best cowboys showed off their speed.
The louder you cheer, the quicker she'll get here. From
And
Stony
agility.
Plain, come on.
It's exciting. It's a high. You know, other people do other kind of stuff for it, but I throw steers down for it.
Aside from steers, there were plenty of cheers.
Good evening, Edmonton.
As rock, pop, and country stars filled the stage. Legends like The Hip, David Bowie, and Taylor Swift. Even Luciano Pavarotti. The world-famous tenor did not disappoint when he performed at the Coliseum in 1995.
Something you will remember for the rest of your life.
This is it. I mean, this is the ultimate in anybody's life.
It wasn't all high notes, though. Some teams failed to find success inside the Coliseum.
And maybe the best indoor goal this season.
They tried indoor soccer twice, once in the early 80s and again in the late 90s. The Drillers folded both times. Basketball was no slam dunk. The Skyhawks had one season at the Coliseum before they bounced in '94. The Sled Dogs also skated away after one season of roller hockey.
Walks over, J.J. Hunt. Oh, yes!
The AHL Roadrunners filled in at the Coliseum during the 2004-2005 NHL lockout. The team was dropped once the NHL returned. Lacrosse lasted longer. The Edmonton Rush played there from 2006 to 2015. They won the league championship in their final year and then moved to Saskatoon. The original Edmonton Oil Kings played at the Coliseum from 1974 to 76 before leaving Edmonton for Portland.
2, 1, there you go.
When Edmonton was granted a WHL expansion team in 2006, the team took up the old name and logo and returned to the Coliseum.
Hats off to the Edmonton Oilers. I think somebody like that has to bring this tradition back.
In 2016, that tradition found a new home with the Oilers and Oil Kings moving to the new downtown arena, leaving only memories of the old barn and its future up in the air.
Tomorrow in part 2, we look back at some memorable international events and what has happened there since everyone left. Still ahead, bringing farm to table.
You take that drive into the country, you meet the producer directly, you see what we grow, how we grow it.
How a local community is encouraging farm stands and where you can find one.
Cloudy skies out there, and those clouds will hang with us overnight tonight and through most of the day tomorrow. Another cool one on tap for tomorrow as well. We'll talk about the return of some warmer air for the weekend right after the break.
Programming brought to you by Alberta iGaming Corporation. For integrity, for fun, for Alberta.
So let's talk about lightning and how lightning forms. Inside these clouds, you have all these ice crystals. And when ice crystals form, they're kind of like an egg, right? There's an egg yolk that's negatively charged and an egg shell that's positively charged. Now, inside a cloud, you've got wind that's blowing up, you got wind that's blowing from the sides. It's like having a bag of eggs, raw eggs, and shaking that bag of eggs instead of the wind. Now, what happens to your eggs when you shake your bag of eggs? They break. What's heavier, the yolks or the shells? The yolks, that's right. The yolks. And the yolks are what? Negative or positive? Negative. So the bottom of the cloud becomes negative. And the shells that are lighter are positive. So that becomes positive. Now the ground is usually negative, but do negative and negative attract or repel? They repel, so this becomes positive. And now to even that out, you get this bolt of electricity that we call lightning, right? And when it slices through the air and causes the air to explode out, you get a big bang that we call thunder. So does lightning create thunder or does thunder create lightning? Lightning creates thunder, right. These are the grade 5s from Holy Family. That's right, smart kids at Holy Family here in Red Deer. They're forecasters of the future. And you are
CTV Weather Watchers brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Strong schools equal a strong Alberta.
More farm stands are popping up on rural roads across Strathcona County. They offer produce and other goods fresh from the farm. Curtis Goodrum explains how the county has been helping them grow.
40 kilometers northeast of Edmonton, 10 kilometers down Range Road 213, on a rainy afternoon, sits an eye-catching farm stand.
A farmer's stand is a way to bring what we offer, what we grow, what we make to the community.
Owner of JW Farm Fresh Greens, Judy Mitchell, has been at farmers markets and roadside shows for the past 2 years, selling sourdough. Her business grew, and she needed more space to sell her goods. deciding on this small red barn.
February, I looked around, I found this cute little barn, and everything just flowed from there.
Mitchell had her grand opening in May and welcomed around 100 people from the area, with some coming from as far as Smoky Lake.
So we had a wonderful turnout from the community, and we're only going to be open once a month.
Strathcona County's Economic Development and Tourism Office says it's been reducing red tape around owning stands and giving farmers business education on how to run them.
Farm stands are a great opportunity for our local farmers to diversify. It gives them another opportunity to connect with their community.
The county hopes that more local food producers that can start farm stands do so as a way of bringing together urban and rural communities.
There's so much opportunity within Strathcona County to learn about agriculture and have fun while doing it.
They don't just sell sourdough. Microgreens, seasonal vegetables, and pickled products grown right next to the barn are also available. Mitchell and the county say farm stands provide a more intimate experience than a grocery store.
You slow down, you take that drive into the country, you meet the producer directly, you see what we grow, how we grow it.
The next date for the farm stand is June 20th. Curtis Goodrum, CTV News, Edmonton.
Some wet weather for Curtis out there in Strathcona County this weekend if you went for a drive.
You'd see some sunshine and finally a couple of dry days. It looks like it's not going to last all of next week. Next week's going to look a lot like this week, actually, but we'll get to that in a second. First, there's your River Valley Sky Cam brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. 12 degrees under cloudy skies. Just 16 for daytime highs in Edmonton. Red Deer 15 in Grand Prairie. Fort McMurray 11 for the daytime high today. This is what the month has looked like so far. You put that 16 in there, everything's blue or gray. 7 of these first 11 days cooler than average, and it looks like we're going to get another cooler than average day tomorrow. Here's your little bit of a warm-up into Sunday, Monday, back into the mid-20s, but 15 to 20 range all of next week. Summer officially starts here, 21st of June, so not this weekend, but next weekend, the end of spring and the start of summer. We'll see if the arrival of summer brings some heat with it. There's your big upper trough, this cool air aloft. It is retreating off to the east. Here comes the upper ridge. This is going to give us the sunnier skies and the warmer temperatures into the weekend and Monday, but look at how it cools off again by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Here's your showers right now, kind of breaking down just north of Edmonton. Morinville, you might have seen a little passing shower, but it looks like it's a little steadier here back West Loch Barrhead and northwest. And here, just off to the east and northeast of the city. I do think we'll probably get at least a few scattered showers in the next hour or two, though, in a couple of neighborhoods in the city. This is where the bulk of the shower and thunderstorm activity has been, though. This is where we expected it, western and southern sections. And I think it's mainly across the south and southwest that overnight tonight and tomorrow we'll see most of the showers and potentially thunderstorms. Red Deer, you're not done with this yet. It's been a wet day. It looks like you've got a few more showers, potentially some rumbles of thunder here. And Grand Prairie as well. You've had some rain in the area and off to the west, and you'll probably see that for the next hour or two before things start to dry out overnight tonight. Here in Edmonton, cloudy skies to start. There's your rain off to the south and to the west. Cool enough that you could see some snow at higher elevations tomorrow morning in through the mountain parks. We've got a chance of a couple scattered showers late morning, and then the clouds will break a little bit tomorrow. I think late afternoon we'll start to see some sunny breaks, and Saturday, now by the afternoon hours, should be under some sunshine as that ridge builds in from the west. So tomorrow, or right now, 10 degrees in Fort McMurray, 13 in Red Deer, and 11 in Grand Prairie, with some wind in the northwest, gusting to about 30. Still gusting to around 30 here in Edmonton. Lloydminster as well, a little gusty. I think that wind is going to drop off by mid-evening and then picks up a little bit tomorrow out of the north-northwest at around 20 kilometers per hour, and occasionally maybe some gusts on top of that. Cloudy start to the day, but some sunny breaks late in the afternoon. It's really not until the weekend, though, that we get more sun than cloud and back into the 20s. 21, 24 for highs Saturday, Sunday. Is your unsettled pattern and your cool down for next week, though. Late Monday could see some showers, thunderstorms. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, also a chance of some showers or periods of rain.
Thank you, Josh. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, a second Ontario police officer dies in the line of duty this week.
These moments reflect or remind us of just the dangers our members face each and every day, and why we need to stand by them, support them, make sure they have everything they need.
The connection to a high-profile investigation and
the younger person is going to be more sensitive to the effects of caffeine.
The Canadian province moves to ban energy drinks for kids.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
A Toronto police officer is dead and a suspect is in critical condition after a confrontation related to multiple shootings in that city. Toronto's police chief says officers were conducting search warrants across the city in connection with a number of shootings, including at synagogues and one at the U.S. consulate back in March. Constable Mark Pinizzato was shot during the execution of a search warrant and died in hospital. He's the second Ontario police officer killed on the job this week. Toronto's police says the deaths weigh heavy on the force.
These moments reflect or remind us of just the dangers our members face each and every day, and why we need to stand by them, support them, make sure they have everything they need, because as you noted, there's nothing routine about what they do, and they are incredibly courageous members who serve selflessly.
Pinizzato was with the force for 18 years. Prime Minister Mark Carney is heading back to Europe. His first stop is Paris to meet with Emmanuel Macron before he stops in Ireland and then on to the G7 in the French Alps. CTV News senior political correspondent Mike LeCouture is traveling with the Canadian delegation and filed this preview before leaving Ottawa.
While there are a number of international issues G7 leaders will be seized with, including the war in Iran, Canadians will be watching to see if Prime Minister Mark Carney gets any FaceTime with U.S. President Donald Trump. The American leader is expected to attend the G7 in Yvin-les-Bains, France, at the foot of the Alps, but it's unclear how much time Carney will get one-on-one. As the CUSMA renewal deadline is just 3 weeks away, Canadian businesses will be keen to hear if there is any progress made on that front. But the G7 itself, Canada is hoping the group of nations will make progress on 3 areas. The first is strengthening critical minerals value chains among like-minded nations. It's something that was started at last year's meeting in Kananaskis, Alberta. Now, Canada also wants to reduce macroeconomic imbalances across the world and to talk about the future of international aid as some nations pull back in that space. Now, Canadian officials who briefed reporters ahead of the trip warned getting consensus on any of these topics could prove difficult. So they say it's unlikely that we'll see a joint communique at the conclusion of the meeting. And before all that, the Prime Minister will make stops in Paris and in Dublin. While in Ireland, Carney wants to deepen economic ties with that country. But we're also expecting a little personal side trip, as his grandparents were born in that part of the world. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
The U.S. ambassador to Canada is hinting there's room for a new North American trade deal, despite U.S. President Donald Trump's suggestions otherwise. CUSMA was the talk of a high-profile Canada-U.S. business summit today in Toronto. CTV's Abigail Beeman has more.
America has a tremendous amount of things where we have a need.
America's Man in Ottawa gives context to these comments from Donald Trump on the Free Trade Pact up for review.
I'm not looking to renew it. We don't need anything that Canada has.
Pete Hoekstra says there are things America needs, potash and oil, for example.
Go into these negotiations very aggressively.
And it's Canada's job to sell itself as the best place to buy.
I think every time we've met with the Canadian government, the president has always kind of closed the meetings off or consistently said through the meetings, make us an offer.
Hoekstra also referenced a positive shift in rhetoric from Doug Ford on his trip to D.C. this week, Pierre Poilievre, and this from the Prime Minister.
Canada Strong will help make America great again.
What I'm encouraged by is, what we do see as a pivot.
As an investor, as someone who's spent most of his career allocating capital, uncertainty sucks.
Canada's rarely heard from ambassador said America first doesn't mean America alone.
I think we need to continually remind Americans of the importance of Canada to the United States. We're not good at that always.
I'm optimistic.
While the minister responsible remains hopeful about a 16-year deal extension.
I try and demystify this July 1st deadline.
Right.
It's not a cliff that everybody goes hurdling off.
LeBlanc said he spoke with U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick this week and will see Trade Representative Jamieson Greer at the G7 next week. He described conversations as constructive with a need to move forward. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Quebec has become the first province to ban the sale of energy drinks to anyone under 16.
A younger person is going to be more sensitive to the effects of caffeine. And you add on top of that some kids are also taking medications for ADHD. The combination of stimulants with caffeine can prove fatal.
The unanimous vote came in response to the 2024 death of a 15-year-old who died after drinking a Red Bull while on ADHD medication. Under the new rules, sellers will have to ask for photo ID when selling the high-caffeine energy drinks. The beverages won't be available online or in vending machines. Still ahead, a push to protect wild bison.
They're a keystone species for most of the grasslands, and they're really important in a lot of Indigenous cultures.
Why advocates say the province needs to change how the animals are classified to help the species thrive. Also next.
The investigation has found that X-Corp and XAI violated Canada's federal private sector privacy law.
Canada's Privacy Commissioner delivers a report looking into Elon Musk's artificial intelligence tool.
Stay with us. We've got another full night of great shows for you tonight on CTV.
Looking at the markets, the Canadian dollar down today, closing near 71 cents U.S. Oil down more than $2, closing around $87 a barrel. Gold lost around $19 on the day. On the stock market, the TSX gained 520 points. The Dow Jones is up 929. Canada's Federal Privacy Commissioner released the findings of an investigation into sexual deepfakes generated by Elon Musk's AI chatbot, Grok.
The investigation has found that X-Corp and XAI violated Canada's federal private sector privacy law by launching the Grok AI-powered image generation tool without implementing appropriate safeguards from the outset.
One recommendation is suspending the tool until appropriate safeguards are put in place. The Privacy Commissioner says the company has not accepted that recommendation and he can't force the tech giant to do it. While the company has made some changes, it remains in non-compliance with Canadian privacy law. Since being introduced in 2017, the Plains bison in Banff have been able to roam freely under the wildlife classification. As the herd grows and wanders outside of the park's protection, there are calls to expand that classification. CTV's Tyler Barrow explains.
Banff National Park's bison herd is growing. 16 were introduced into the area in 2017. There are now approximately 150.
They're a keystone species, and their role has been absent here for nearly 150 years.
The animals are free roaming in the park's eastern slopes and protected as wildlife. Outside of the park, they're classified as livestock. That allows them to be hunted and killed. Animal conservationists want that changed.
We could get bison as wildlife. That opens up different options and different opportunities for how we protect them, for how we manage them.
But in a statement to CTV News, the Ministry of Environment and Protected Areas says it has no plans to change the classification. A disappointment to those who see the majestic creature as closely connected with Indigenous culture. The International Buffalo Relations Institute, an Indigenous-led organization, suggests the province instead designate a portion of the province for plains bison protection. It would like to see an area sweeping west of Highway 22 down to Lundbrook, through Waterton Lakes National Park, and into Milk River over to Cypress Hills.
So the bison in Banff could get into the best winter habitat?
There'd be certain pockets bison couldn't roam. For some, it's more personal. Karsten Hoyer wrote the book Buffalo Lessons.
We're bringing back the
largest land mammal in North America to Canada's first national park.
He helped spearhead the return but died in 2024. His book calls for the province to reconsider how it classifies the species. So does his wife, who carries on the fight.
It's one of the things that Karsten felt was kind of left undone.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
A cross-country road trip focused on skin cancer detection has made its way to Edmonton. Melanoma Canada's Mole Mobile visited South Edmonton today to offer free skin checks from certified dermatologists. The program travels to cities across Canada to help identify potential cases of skin cancer. Organizers say the Mole Mobile reduces the barrier of long wait times for dermatologists.
It's first come, first serve, so patients come in, they sign up, and then we see them as quickly as we can, doing a good job, making sure we take our time to look at after their concerns. That's more likely a process. If there's a need afterwards for the patient to follow up with the doctor, we provide follow-up with that as well.
The Mole Mobile is making 3 more stops in Edmonton later this week. Edmonton's mayor rolled up his sleeve to give blood for the first time. Andrew Knack is encouraging Edmontonians to do the same during National Blood Week. Knack joined Councillor Michael Jans today at the Edmonton Donor Centre. Canadian Blood Services says donations are especially important during the summer months to ensure patients still get the care they need.
And I think, for those that are like myself, that maybe they haven't done it yet, it's National Blood Donor Week. This is the time to make that first try, right? And support somebody, save a life. It's going to make a big difference.
It's really easy to come by and visit, and they take care of you, and they got great cookies.
Donors can book an appointment at blood.ca or by calling 1-888-DONATE. Coming up, World Cup excitement sweeping Canada's host cities.
I mean, you ask all these people around here, they're from all over the country, all over the world, to come watch a match, so it's exciting.
With less than 24 hours until Team Canada's first World Cup match on.
Programming brought to you by Alberta iGaming Corporation. For integrity, for fun, for Alberta.
With less than 24 hours until Team Canada's first World Cup match on home soil, the host cities say they're ready for the action. The excitement was on display today as fans gathered in Toronto to watch Mexico win the opening match from thousands of kilometers away.
I mean, you ask all these people around here, they're from all over the country, all over the world, to come watch a match, so it's exciting.
A mariachi band opened the festivities at Toronto's Fan Fest, a sea of green with Mexican fans coming out to watch their team kick off the 2026 World Cup, hoping for a moment like this.
Oh, Mexico maybe with an opening here, and that is the opening goal of the World Cup. Scored by Julian Quiñones.
The opening goal of the 2026 World Cup. Mexico scored in the 9th minute of the game, sending the home crowd into a frenzy. Mexico would get one more goal in the 2-0 win over South Africa. As for Team Canada, their game tomorrow against Bosnia and Herzegovina starts at 1 p.m.
There's the radar, and you can see there are showers east and just north of the city of Edmonton. We'll see in at least a few neighborhoods some showers here over the next hour or two. Mostly cloudy skies tomorrow morning. There's a chance you might see a scattered shower sort of late morning or around lunchtime. It's not going to amount to much. I think most areas will get missed. Then some sunny breaks in about 17 tomorrow afternoon. Nice little warm up for the weekend. Sunnier as well, 21 and 24 Saturday, Sunday.
That looks fantastic. Thank you, Josh, and thank you very much for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, check out our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Have a great night.